Hello, ladies, and any gentlemen who have decided to join us today for our new blog video, Chicks Chat. Right?
Chicks Chat.
Chicks Chat for real. So we're about to see some chicks chatting. I'm Monica Cost.
And I'm Patrice Jean-Baptiste.
And we decided to do this because we have so many amazing conversations with a lot of different women about stuff that we just kind of stumble upon that ends up being cool stuff that we want to hear other people's opinions on as well.
Yes.
So we decided to bring it to the web in this medium. We hope that you'll enjoy it. Today's subject matter is, I forgot kind of what we decided to call it.
I guess we decided it's the true emotional life of men.
I like it. So what we're going to do today is read an excerpt in 3 parts from a post by a gentleman named CJ Miller, and you can read the entire thing along with other things from him at cjmilleronline.com. But we found this particular post very interesting and had a really rich discussion about it that we're going to have again.
And
so,
yep.
And at the end, we're going to ask for your feedback via email. We're going to bring up that feedback in our next episode because we want to know what you're thinking. So here's the excerpt in 3 parts.
All right, here it goes. Ladies, today's men have become Rubik's Cubes of unbalanced emotions, years of unanswered feelings, and countless moments of tears that we've been deceived into shedding in the dark. Wow. Right. So this, I guess, really speaks to the truth of what men struggle with.
Yeah, and so how they're still being socialized today.
And yet, the truth is that there are moments of tears. There's a lot of pain and crying going on in the dark.
Right.
And not shared with anyone because they don't feel that they can.
Right, they're uncomfortable sharing it. And I'd like to hear, really, I mean, your opinions and feedback on this is, because I think this stuff comes up, you know, there's 2020 specials on it and things like that, and then it dies. Mm-hmm. And as a mother of 2 young boys, and Patrice is raising a young boy as well, you know, we want to raise men who have healthy relationships, and included in that is
so
being
what does
expressive.
It take? Right.
Right.
And how do we get there so that we teach them that they can maintain masculinity and be expressive emotional beings?
Now, it's tricky, right? Because
Right.
I'm not sure that all women are prepared for this outpour of emotion. And sometimes when, you know, women will say, oh, it's okay, you can cry in front of me, and then the next thing you know, they're treating them a little bit differently because they've lost a little something. And that, you know, it's not all
So
women.
wait a minute, you think we do this to our men?
I do.
So we say, let it out, honey, I want to know, I'm here, and then, oh, but I got something on you.
Absolutely. And I think sometimes it comes out in jest later on. You know, oh, you're making fun of me crying. What about the time you cried at such and such? Well, it's a joke. We don't care if men joke with us about crying, but it's almost like when and if they do it, it goes in the vault. There's no need to bring it up again. They were sharing. It was a moment. We need to move on.
So, and then to that end, it actually has to be sacred too.
Right.
We have to agree that we're not going to bring that up again.
Absolutely.
And we're not going to hold that against you because we know the cost.
Yeah, and I think ladies would understand this when you think about when you're having a moment and you confess something to a friend. It could be that you and your significant other are having problems, right? And you give all the details. Well, you really don't expect that your girlfriend's going to say then tomorrow, so what happened with you and so-and-so?
Right.
Right?
Well,
it was a
not
moment.
In public.
Right.
Please.
Right. So.
Okay, next section. Similar to the concept of the Rubik's Cube, to pierce the heart of today's men, women will have to assist us with managing our confusing, multicolored walls of emotions. Ladies, we want your help. We want to share, but somewhere in a deep, dark place, within the nature of our soul, we're convinced such an admission dilutes our masculinity.
Okay, here's this part is actually what hit my hot button.
Right.
And the reason why this hit my hot button is we want your help, and I understand that, and that's fine. But what I feel like I've seen sometimes is that the women who help, right, who allow the men to cry on their shoulders and, you know, express themselves, are often then traded or swapped out at a later date because that's for many reasons, right? It could be that the woman now represents the weakness, the weak moment that the man had, or that they represent a moment of shame or something. And so the person that sticks by them, you know, through thick and thin, sometimes doesn't end up really being the one that gets the prize. So, you know,
Well,
my
perhaps
question
they've served their role,
Yeah.
then that's no longer needed.
right.
But aren't
you
they
know-
faithful?
Who? Men?
Men.
Are they? Some are, some are.
And also, pause. Do I want to play that role? Is that my responsibility?
That's the question.
Do you know, when
right?
you take on a relationship, is that something that you should know is going to be an expectation?
Right.
And so sign on the dotted line, because that's going to be part of your role,
Right.
like it or not.
Yeah. What do you think? I mean, we obviously do not have the answers. We're, you know, I guess I feel I want the balance. I do. I want a man,
Yes.
you know, to be a man, whatever that means.
Part of that is a leader.
Absolutely. But it doesn't mean that there's no room for vulnerable moments.
No,
absolutely, because that's really the only way that you have growth in
Right.
a relationship.
Right. Oh, please. Because I want to share those vulnerable moments as well,
Absolutely.
and know that they're just as received.
Sure, and they will be because you're a woman.
But will they be as received by him?
Right.
I know I have my outlets,
Right.
and so I don't necessarily need him for that role.
Sure. Right.
But there's no doubt, according to this statement anyway, that we are needed for that role.
Sure. Yeah.
And so with it comes some significant responsibility. Let's
All right,
see.
Ben, so we want to hear from you too.
Yes.
Let us know.
Last section. Help us successfully identify the truths that hide in plain sight. And as a byproduct, you'll intimately understand why boys cry in the night. Do you want to know why boys cry in the night?
Yeah. I mean, again, raising two young boys,
Okay.
you know, I want to raise two men who don't, right? Who find ways to express themselves, whether it be journaling, painting, talking to their woman friends, their girlfriends,
Right.
their guy friends, and not soft. You know, I'm not suggesting that we create a generation of soft men, but
No.
certainly ones who understand that to have a healthy relationship means that you have to exchange, you have to have a exchange of, you know, you have to communicate.
Absolutely. And
Right?
that crying, here's my issue. We consider crying weakness. Crying is strength. Crying is purification. You know, when you have a good cry, a good session, and which comes rarely, even for women,
Yeah.
because we have to be so strong and play so many roles.
Right.
When you have one of those sessions, it is so empowering. But to now convince our men who have been told by society again and again that they are the rocks and therefore must be stern and show nothing,
Right.
that crying is positive.
Right.
So I say, come on, men, cry,
Let it out.
please, let it out.
Yes.
Because then we need you on the other side.
All right, this was a ton of fun. I hope that we really do want to hear your feedback. So
Definitely.
please do write to us and let us know. The full excerpt, again, if you want to read it, is at cjmilleronline.com. I think it is called The Rubik's Cube Man. But it's on the homepage, and you can also email us at info@evidentlyassured.com. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
At Chicks Chat.
See ya.